Hey, y'all.
Let's go.
Welcome to another edition of Backcountry Couples.
Yeah. Happy Thursday.
I'm your co-host with the mostest.
Mostest.
Johnny.
I love it. And I'm Colleen. So welcome.
Happy Thursday.
Happy pre-Friday.
Yeah, well, today is your Friday.
It is my no. It was my Friday.
Ish.
Sunday. It's a one day today, which is unfortunate. Anyways, awesome. Welcome everybody. I'm Colleen, and he's Johnny.
Okay, we just said that.
I'm doing it again.
Why?
Because that's what I do. Anyways, welcome. This is not Backcountry Couples tonight.
No, it's Backcountry Bros.
We got Backcountry Bros in the house, so we are excited for that. We can review. We had a couple things going on. We were just in Canada for the weekend, so that was really, really awesome.
Yay!
It was little family and friends, so that was really cool. We on the way back home, we got to pick up our camper. So I don't know if anybody saw our little Instagram post.
No, nobody saw
I know, but we just picked up our custom 5x10 overland camper. It's very swanky swank. I am super, super pumped about this. It's going to be.
It needs to get finished.
Well, it needs our own little personal touches and stuff like that.
Our flair.
Yes. So I'm
swag.
Excited about that. One thing about the show tonight. So again, this is the second week that we are doing a bit of a duo live. So we are primarily on YouTube, but the other feed is on Facebook. So if you're listening to this on Facebook, I don't think you can see the actual chat that's on YouTube, but we can see any comments or any questions that you have in our chat. So if you have any questions or comments via Facebook, we can add them in and kind of go from there.
Right on.
Yeah. So it is.
I'm just playing on my computer.
Yeah. So. No, you're not. He's getting the Facebook stuff set up there, which is really nice.
I got Instagram.
We are getting ready. We have a lot of upcoming trips, which is super, super excited. So we're getting prepared. And the one thing that we're trying to do is what we were trying to do today was
I worked all day.
You did, but we have to start spraying our gear down. I'm not sure if everybody does that or not, but with spring coming around the corner, obviously.
Well, better call up Amazon.
That
permethrin order
coming. We need to get the permethrin started. So excited for that.
If you're here in the States, Sawyer permethrin, the bomb.
It is the bomb.
Spray it on everything.
Yeah, and our Canadian friends, I'm not really sure. I think it's Ben's. Something is what it's called there. Maybe our friends tonight know more about that. More. If any of our people who are in our overlanding groups are on tonight, it is the More Expo.
Started today.
Yeah, so everybody is down all there. It's nuts.
Sit down in Missouri.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that definitely are involved in that. So excited to see that. And we have Beauty in the Backcountry. Everybody just posted a new video. We like to kind of say that so everybody knows what's
called
going
home.
on. It's called Home.
Not going to say anything about it?
No, but I got goosebumps watching it, and it was so sweet. So excited for that. So if you have a minute, go check out Beauty in the Backcountry as well, who was another backcountry couple on the show, which is fabulous.
You betcha.
What is a backcountry couple?
Us.
Boom.
Ish.
It's a couple. Yeah. It's a duo, but not necessarily romantic.
Right. Could be business partners.
Yes. And you could be bros. But it's two people who love to get out.
And there could be
adventure together.
You could be two female ladies.
Whatever. You could be just gals in the backcountry, whatever that looks like. So it's all good. And we're looking for suggestions for season 3. So if you have any suggestions, please shoot us an email, or you can DM us on Insta, which is fun. We're going to do a bit of a poll, I think, at the end of season 2, which is in a couple weeks from now, and kind of see, if anybody has some ideas and kind of go from there. So excited for that. The other is Last week.
What else we got on?
We have last week. Last week we had Craig and Barbara from
Texas Hikeaholics.
If you are not following them, go follow them. Oh my God, they are so much fun.
You want to learn something about Texas?
And not just that.
When it comes to hiking,
they are our people. Like we said at the end of the show, I was like, we are totally hanging out. It was so much fun. And actually, I think they're tuning in tonight because of our guest this evening, because he's a big Craig's a big bass fisherman.
Just spit that right out.
That's all I got, right? So that's really cool. So that's fun.
Hint drop.
Right. And if you love what you see, when hanging out with the cool kids,
hit the like button.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you to subscribe because you're already subscribed. That's why.
But you know what? We do this every week for the next couple weeks. And then we're on hiatus for the summer. We're going to resume this show back in October. And I think we got to.
Yeah, we're going to come back in October, and we're going.
And then we're going to be gone away in 2 trips. Exactly. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
You might have to slide it to.
Let's thank our sponsor, honey.
Of course.
Yeah.
Our sponsor, as always, Mickwick Fire Starters.
Oh, we are so blessed to have them.
Absolutely. Great company out of the Pacific Northwest, making an awesome products.
Right on. We are always excited to share this with our backcountry couples, backcountry bros tonight. So they make all natural fire starters. They are all natural ingredients. They're lightweight. They are waterproof. They are thebomb.com.
Burn for 20 minutes.
Yes.
So light snow-covered wood on fire.
They do. Like these are what
tested more than
needs
5 times
easily for us, even right. So not only
do they do fire starters, they also do applewood smoked coffee beans.
Yep.
Yes,
they're pretty amazing,
pretty tasty.
They're awesome.
It's like taking that sip of coffee around the campfire in the morning.
Is.
That's what it smells
like.
It
is. And right now, still while supplies last.
While supplies last.
If you order anything from Mickwick website,
like
they are
swag.
Like my nice little cap. I love my cap. It's really cool.
You can't really tell, but it's kind of it's kind of ghost camo.
Yep. It's really nice. So any swag.
Obviously
fire starters.
Oh, and check out their new colors too.
Yeah, you get a free or a complimentary 3 ounce
bag.
Applewood smoked coffee.
But they sell bigger. Awesome. They sell bigger bags.
They do. They have that as well. So, and people who aren't familiar with Mickwick, I think you should show everybody too what we got.
Right.
Oh yeah.
First, if you will go to order any of that stuff, use the code KiloQuest. Put a little space in there.
Yeah.
Get 15% off your order. And you will be all set. And no video file, you go to the desktop, honey. He forgets that. It's all good though. But what I was going to say is, we know a lot of people have used our code, and we thank you for that because it's really nice that everybody gets to save that extra 15%. So totally,
it's really fantastic. So if you're not familiar with Mickwick, this is Mickwick. Right? We are so excited.
It was so dynamic.
I know it is. I love that. But we're so excited to be able to share that with everybody. And also, next.
No, wait, there's more.
Right. So next weekend, we're actually going to an event in Indiana. And
Hoosierville.
And we are excited to share Mickwicks with our people there. So excited for that. The other is, let's say hi to the chat, honey, before we go any further.
All right.
Who's all in the house?
Well, there's a bunch of early birds today.
Who was here?
Ha! Doc.
Bros before what? Stop it.
Doc. Shame on
Hi,
you.
Doc.
All right, so we got Doc here. We got Beauty of the Backcountry.
Hi, Jay.
Texas Hikeaholic.
Craig and Barbara, what up?
Oh, Darren
We
Davidson.
got Darren. Hi, Darren. Canadian boys.
Yeah, super good camping.
Another Canadian folks. We always love to see you. Hello.
Yes, we appreciate all the stuff you do.
Right.
Tangents here.
Hashtag
Adventure Anywhere.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
And let's see who else.
Paddleheads are here.
Our guests are in the house.
Hey.
My mom's here.
Hi, Mom.
SV Raven.
Hello.
Here.
Yeah, he's here. He's at work right now too.
Okay. Hike with Mike.
Mike, what is up? Nice to see you.
Our Level's here.
Oh,
hey guys.
Hello, guys. Nice to see you.
And that's it.
And Mom, again, we said that. So it's all good. So welcome, everybody. Again, we're excited. The show is interactive, which is awesome. And we always have people that have some super questions.
I missed one.
Oh, who'd you miss? Who'd you miss, honey?
Sorry. Hold on. Where's my chat?
Oh, gee. Hey, what I was going to say. Oh, Sloan's Wilderness.
Sloan's Wilderness.
Hey, nice to see you guys on the house tonight. Very, very nice. Oh, wait. Stop it.
No,
really?
Do not even post that.
I have to post that.
No, you don't.
Our level just said, Colleen, we can tell you just got back from Canada. We can't understand a word you were saying. Shush up.
Oh. You're funny.
Oh my God, that is too good. Anyway, so if you have a question for our guest tonight, put it in the form of a question with a K. I always love this. And I have to give that up to Beauty of the Backcountry because Jade did that. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I love the question thing. Anyways.
You're funny, Mom.
Our guest tonight, I'll get a McWick swag pack, which is awesome. They also get a little KK sticker. So we got that with the green tree. It doesn't show up on the green screen. So we're always excited to share those with our guests every week. So fun. But somebody else, another person from Utah. Hello. I think we should get on with the show. Let's do it.
Waiting on you, darling.
Yes, let's just do this. I'm super excited. Are you ready?
Oh, by the way, what episode is this?
Oh my God, it's episode. We're 18.
Right.
We're 18.
Halfway to 36.
This is it. And not lying. So I went
Talk
through
about derailed.
I know. I went through the numbers last year. We interviewed 42 couples last year.
But yeah, we also
That's
started in
crazy.
June. We started
so
in
that
June.
is so many people to chat with. So we're up to 18. We got a couple more to go. I think that's a solid season, just saying. Anyways, let's go. Tonight we have, and we quote, you know what? We have just a couple of idiots who adventure fish in Canada, primarily by kayak and canoe.
End quote.
These two share tips, reviews, and how-tos in the backcountry. And they have a I love everybody has a motto. Did you
say tips or dips?
It's tips. They might dip a little bit. They probably dip a little bit too. But they have a motto. And I love everyone who has a motto. Their motto is, we want to show you that you can do this too.
No, you got to point up there.
Oh, that you
down
up there. You up there. That's right. And are you ready for this?
You sitting on that lazy boy.
And I'm going to tell you right now, you know what this show's going to be?
Oh, I can just imagine.
It's going to be off the hook. I couldn't resist.
I'll give you the address. You can come pick her up.
Anyways, welcome from Paddleheads. We have Ben and Adam. Let's go.
Hey, guys.
Hey there. How you doing?
Oh, awesome. How y'all doing?
Oh, good. God. We're doing good. Thanks.
Fantastic. How's the weather up there, eh?
Oh,
stop it.
Well,
cut it out right
I think we're on the same latitude, but
we are the same latitude.
We had snow and ice yesterday, and then 80 degrees today.
These guys are actually lower. I think they're more south than we are, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
I think
possibly
so.
Stanley-ish?
No,
can't you see our tans? We're Southerners.
I know. Looking good. Looking good. Oh.
That is a deep, dark white, I'm telling you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us and wanting to come on and chat.
Oh, we've got lots to talk about.
For Backcountry Bros, you were the third episode of Backcountry Bros. And I got to tell you, people love the bros for sure. So there's some different dynamics and all that kind of fun stuff. So
a lot of banterism.
Welcome. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
We're pretty low key.
Right. So we always love to share how kind of we came across you and got to know you. And John and I were part of the canoe flip challenge right? That was started by Chris Prouse.
Yep.
And that was benefiting Project Canoe in Toronto. And we were nominated by Joe O. And if everybody doesn't know who Joe O is, he makes incredible Greenland handmade paddles out of Thunder Bay. He's just like outstanding. So make sure everybody gets an opportunity to go.
He's a heck of a
cycle
packer
check him out. So we were nominated by him. We did a canoe flip challenge, and our due diligence was to nominate 3 people. So we nominated Tosh from Tosh Self-Propelled, Darren from Ride Paddle Repeat, and Ben from Conjuring Rock at the time. So thanks for accepting our challenge back in the day there. That was November of like 2022.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago. Thanks for challenging me. I was pleasantly surprised to see that somebody thought of me for that challenge. So thank you.
Oh, gosh.
You're welcome. We enjoy watching your stuff.
And I had Camper Christina also nominate me, so I decided that I would double my donation for every flip because I got nominated twice. So.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That is awesome. Yeah, that was really. And then Adam, we got to know you through Ben.
Yeah, I'm just the background shadow guy.
Yeah, right. Well, clearly you're the executive because
well, of course it says executive
paddlehead. I mean,
so yeah, we're rocking our
we got our fishing gear on. Hence, you guys are ready to hit the water too.
Fishing bucket hat. So
always wear your PFD.
Right on. So how did you two meet?
Through YouTube, actually. Okay. So we both started channels around the same time, and I was looking for other channels that were in my position just to see what they were doing. And I found Adam's channel, and he was just fishing off of a pier, and he caught nothing the entire video, but I watched the whole thing start to finish. And I didn't know why, but so I figured, I would reach out to him and let him know that I enjoyed the video on Instagram. And we started talking on Instagram and realized that we both like the same kind of music. We're both metalheads. We both play music, and we both grew up playing in bands before we got into YouTube and fishing. So we kind of hit it off that way. Also, Adam's a drummer and I'm a bass player, so we're supposed to get along. If you
naturally
know the whole band dynamics,
naturally.
Yeah.
If the bassist and drummer don't get along in a band, you don't have much of a band.
I just want to say all of my best friends are bass players. It's literally true.
Oh, love that.
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, I guess we can just side rail this real quick. Who's your favorite bass player, Ben?
I would say Les Claypool from Primus. He's a lesser known one from some, but if you get into bass playing or that kind of realm, then yeah, you'll know Les Claypool from Primus.
Cool.
That's cool.
Please continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. So, yeah, that's kind of how we met and first started talking. And we started sending videos to each other before we would release them. And we would kind of give each other feedback. We both realized that we kind of worked well together and we could just speak our mind and the other wouldn't get offended. I mean, we knew how to like work well together that way. And we just saw it as an opportunity to both grow together. We started doing trips together and realized that we were making the same videos just on different channels, and then eventually realized why split the efforts, why not join together and make videos for the same channel. So
right on.
Cool.
Yeah, we live 3 hours or 2.5 hours apart.
Oh, it makes it difficult for sure.
A little difficult, but we make it happen. And yeah, it's been good. So that's how it started.
Nice.
That's your version.
It's all no, it's all true. It's all true.
Just go with the flow.
Right on. Were you guys both outdoorsy growing up as kids and stuff?
So we were both city kids. I'll let Adam speak to his experience, but
go.
Adam, you go ahead. I spoke enough.
Well, I would say kind of. When I was really small, my family we would do like an annual camping trip, or my mom would rent a cottage and we would go up there. And I would naturally, the thing you do is fish for sunfish. And so I would do that kind of stuff when I was little, but I never had anyone to show me how to take the fish off the hook. And so I killed a few and I was like, okay, I don't like this. I'm not doing this anymore. And so I kind of lost interest. From that, my younger brother and I, so like Ben said, we're kind of city kids. I lived in the suburbs, and my younger brother and I, we would explore or adventure in the suburbs looking for creeks. And we'd bring our rubber boots and we get in the creeks, just trying to catch crayfish or crawdads or whatever you guys call them down there.
Down there,
And,
crawdads, you know?
whatever you guys call them
Bug
down
bugs.
there. And but like that always gave me kind of this feeling of like adventure and exploration. Like, you know, my mom was very good about letting us kind of just have our own time and space. And you know, back in the day, that was okay. You could do that. So that was a lot of fun. But like, you know, in my early teens, my aunt and uncle, they had been divers my whole life. Ooh. So when I turned 14, they paid for me to get my certification. And so when we did dive trips, we would camp. We would camp for the weekend and we would dive all weekend. So I did some camping then, which was fun. I always really enjoyed it. It wasn't like something I independently kept going back to. And like I said, I didn't really have anyone to take me and do it. So from there, like Ben was kind of saying, I got pretty heavily into video games in my later teen years, and like having been playing drums since I was like 12, I started playing in bands. And so from like probably, I don't know, 18 to about 28, I played gigs like in different bands all throughout the GTA, like the Toronto area.
Yeah.
And then at 28, my wife and I, very fortunately, we had kids. We had twins. Aww. And that was awesome. And so, you know, naturally everything changed for me. And I kind of thought about, you know, my life, and I didn't want them just, you know, playing video games and doing that kind of stuff. So I decided I wanted to go back to the things that I really loved as a kid: adventure, exploring. And those are the kinds of things that I really wanted to teach them about. And so I realized I don't know much about that kind of stuff. I have a lot to learn myself. So that's what kind of started me on my journey of being in the backcountry and that's how I basically ended up here.
Very cool.
Nice.
And Ben, same thing. You growing up? Like, what was that all about?
So growing up, we got out of the city a couple times. Like my dad would take me out in the canoe fishing. And I remember bugging him, and eventually you just kind of get sick of bugging him to go fishing because he keeps saying no, because for whatever reason we don't have the gas or just can't get out there.
Sure.
And the other reason was that we also broke our canoe. So we used to have a canoe for the family, and my friend and I took it out in the lake. It was a canoe that was advertised at the time as being unsinkable. It had these like thick foam pads on both sides of the gunnels of the canoe, and you couldn't tip this thing. You could not flip it. It could be, I forget.
Some Canadian.
I should look it up. Yeah, definitely Canadian. But you could be paddling a bathtub and it would stay afloat.
Sure.
So anyways, we tried to sink it and that ended up like breaking it in a certain way that was just not repairable. So that also was part of the reason that we put an end to the fishing trips. So then I got into video games and stuff. And it wasn't until actually that I met a girl and decided she was a whitewater raft guide. And I was like, that's exciting. She kind of gave me this kick in the ass to try and get more active and just get out there. I also really wanted to do that. I knew that it wasn't a healthy lifestyle playing video games. I was like one of those kids that was really addicted. I would wake up at 7 a.m, play all day until 2 a.m.
Oh, geez.
Sleep for a few hours and wake up and do it all again all weekend. That's all I would do. Yeah. Because I had to beat it. I had to beat the game. I had to get better. It was an obsession. So anyways, I got an opportunity to do a 19-day whitewater rafting trip through the Grand Canyon, going 220 miles down because she was a raft guide, her friends invited her. And I got thrown into the mix with no experience for long multi-day trips or whitewater.
Wow.
And so I was really thrown into it. That's where I did my first trip video too. There's a video somewhere on the internet that exists. It's not very well put together, but it was my first kind of trip video. I bought a GoPro just for that trip.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then when I got home, I was like, what can I do around here? And I remember, there's a lot of fishing. I'm from the Kingston area, which is right at the mouth of the St. Lawrence River and the tail end of Lake Ontario. Just north of us, within an hour and a half, we've got, I think they said like 13,000 lakes within like a 2-hour drive of here.
Yep.
So
just a couple.
Yep.
There's a few fishing opportunities. So I decided to really get into fishing and camping and that's, camping was just a means of fishing longer and fishing earlier in the morning.
I love that. So you got the background. Now you got like the video games, you got like the rock bands going on. And then you're like, yeah, let's just get together. But I mean, this whole social media YouTube thing, there's a bit of a learning curve to this.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
And it's not just, I mean, there's the Insta, there's the YouTube, there's the Facebook, there's the Twitter, there's shorts, there's the reels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you manage all this from being, 2.5 hours away?
Having two people run one channel helps a lot. Honestly, we have two people doing the same amount of work that a lot of times one person's doing. So we split it up quite frequently.
Okay.
We talk daily. We have a lot of ideas and plans and so
I probably see him more. I do see him more than any of my friends that live 5 minutes down the road.
Is it not amazing? That is amazing. Oh my gosh. So
we also just focus. We try and primarily focus on YouTube. We think that's the ball that we're trying to keep in the air. Everything else can be dropped.
Okay.
And if we can do it, that's great. Awesome. We do use scheduling apps if you're looking for some technical stuff like that. Like we use Buffer just to try and schedule some posts if we need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And are you guys sure it's just the two of you?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Awesome. Okay, wait a minute. Look.
Okay.
I have that right here. I keep his head nearby. It never
goes
far.
So actually, it's the three of us.
Okay, so not lying. And we love Peter McKinnon too. The Peter McKinnon,
awesome.
NESAT, like we just love that whole genre, all that fun stuff.
I think anybody who's getting into filming is.
But I mean, he's like
my thing now is with him is this looking for that sip of coffee that he does. He goes through epic just for that sip of coffee.
So, not lying, I totally emailed Peter McKinnon.
You did not.
Of course I did. Check the emails. And I just said, hey, my thing was Backcountry Bros. Yeah, you read that right. You want to come hang out with a couple of idiots who love to fish? And it was just like, grab your coffee. It was like boom, 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 boom. I didn't hear anything, but I was like, what the hell, right?
Well, thank you so much. I hope he never sees that video. That's embarrassing.
No, I think it's fabulous. I think it's so awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, that's what I mean. That's the goal. That's the fun factor. And I think that's what makes you guys really cool, which is like awesome. We already have some questions. Actually, we already have a statement. Who's Canadian Shield mom?
Canadian Shield man.
Oh, man. Sorry, man.
Oh,
that's my buddy Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Jake. He says they're a couple, even they pretend they aren't.
Hey, Jake.
So, how are you guys choosing trips? Like we were just chatting earlier, and we just said, our next 6 months, we've already got lots planned. How are you guys choosing your trips? I mean, it takes time, it takes effort.
Sure.
You're 2.5 hours away. You have different holidays. I'm sure you have different jobs. You know what I mean? Different schedules. How does that happen?
Easy. You want to go here? Sure. Okay. Let's go. That's how it goes. Just like that.
I don't know.
That's a bro conversation if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do it? Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
All right. Tomorrow? All right.
It does not happen like that.
Why not?
It has, for sure.
It has. It really has.
Actually, a lot of times, like when we actually get together, it's like 2 days before, and we're like, hey, you free Saturday? Let me ask my wife. Hang on. Okay, yeah, I can come. And then we'll just like meet up. We literally did that.
All right, that's cool.
It's like sometimes we get away with being able to do some planning, but it's usually somebody else, one of our friends that initiates it. Like our friend Justin, who appears in some of our videos. For any of the trips where you see Justin or just Justin, he plans those trips primarily.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
Apart from season openers though, so whenever like there's certain season or certain fish that are coming in season, we like to try and make trips around that so we can be there for opening day. So that's basically all we have planned right now.
What's the big one in May? What's
a few?
Walleye and pike in certain zones.
So it depends on your zone for sure.
Right.
But there's pike, there's walleye, and lake trout that open in May, depending on where you are. And then muskies are first or second weekend of June.
Got
it. As far as planning goes, most of our trips, if not all of them, are planned around fishing. Like it's fish first, and then how do we get to them? Really is what it comes down to.
Okay,
Nice.
I like that. I think that's the goal for sure. Do you guys, are you winter or summer?
Both.
All season. All season, baby.
Oh.
Well, we have a fishing question from SV Raven.
And we have so many questions too, which is great. Okay.
Cool. Question is, are you going to accept KC anti-campers admitting you're better anglers?
Oh, geez.
Okay.
We'll take that any day. We'll take that any day, but we need to challenge him again. We're not happy with how that challenge ended.
Right.
I have a very funny story. Like, have you guys ever met Kevin Callan?
We have.
We've met him a couple of times.
You can't trust him. You cannot trust him.
No.
He's pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
So did you guys see the video where we went camping with him?
We did. We did.
So for anyone who hasn't, we went camping with Kevin Callan, who's like a Canadian canoe legend, and Speedo Man, his good buddy. And we were doing a fishing challenge. And so we were all fishing. It was great. And at one point, all of us were kind of bunched together. And we come to this point on the lake, and like 3 of us hook up on a fish at the same time. And so it was crazy. It was hilarious, actually.
All 3 of you were on one fish.
No.
Well, no, they hit at the same time.
That's right. I had my own fish, but Kevin and Speedo Man literally caught the same fish. One hooked it in the face, the other one hooked it on the tail, and they were both fighting it. And they get it to the boat, and they're trying to count it as 2 fish. And we're like, what?
No.
I was like,
how this works.
That's not how it works.
No, so you can't trust Kevin Callan. Don't trust him.
He's sneaky.
He said some mean things about me too in the last podcast we did.
What?
Yeah, he's a mean guy. Don't trust him.
Oh, we got directed. Yeah. Are you guys Crownland or provincial parks or national parks? What do you prefer?
Mostly, all of it. We don't have too many national parks in our area. Mostly provincial parks or Crownland.
Yeah, right.
Or state parks, as you folks might call them.
That's right. We got a couple of little photos here too. So, one thing when you get to a lake, I mean, look at this. Like, this is like at its best right here, right? If I'm gonna think of
sure.
That was the time we hired a pilot. They're expensive, but so worth it.
Yeah. So where was this at?
That's
we can't say. Yeah.
I can't say.
Oh, it's secret. I love the secrets. Okay, good.
That is lake, that you're right. Now that I'm thinking of what that is, we were looking for muskie, right, Ben?
It's the not short lake.
So were you flown in?
Yes,
Adam was kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was
how we got that shot. It was our pilot friend.
Who took the photo for us? Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is literally a secret lake. So
right. So we're not telling anybody. But before we get to the next picture, though, have you guys done any backpacking into a lake or into it? Not portaging, not with a boat, but straight up. Got my gear. I'm going, and we're backpacking in.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Once.
What? Just once? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Come on.
We did it once and realized nope.
Oh wait, we did? When did we do that?
Individual. Like I talk about us as a couple.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, right.
Yeah,
but individually.
That's right. I forgot.
Right.
All right.
So, but then you did something like this, which is really sweet.
Oh yeah, that was.
Okay, look at the rig. Look at the rig. There's 3 boats on that truck, and we took it through like an intense off-roading trail. Like that was our buddy.
Like Drummond Island.
It's not.
Our buddy Ryan. That was like he had just finished outfitting this truck, and this is his first time doing anything with it. And this was a really people don't normally take full-size vehicles down this trail. It's like an ATV
technical.
Trail.
It's a truck. It's the one that he loves. He loves. It's a Nissan Frontier, wasn't it?
Yeah. Nissan Frontier.
It's a sweet truck.
It's the Pro X4. It's the Pro X4.
Yeah.
He's got a few mods on it, but I mean, as you can see, we've got boats. We've got like 2x4s separating them. Like that was a hillbilly rig if I've ever seen one. But it got us to the lake.
So it looks like Ben's is in the back, and then yours is on top of the other kayak. And
I think it's the up. I don't know.
Well, that's a canoe on top.
Yeah. There we go. I know, but I mean, overlanding is another way of getting deeper and further into the backcountry too.
Definitely,
for sure. Yeah.
Right. So is that on your agenda too? Like to maybe mod one of your trucks or get a little bit, deeper? Or are you just gonna keep asking this dude? Or what?
I think
it all sounds very expensive.
It sounds very expensive, and it's.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It excites us, but not that much.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was a fun trip for sure.
We still have to do it, and we'll probably do that again, especially with Brian, for sure.
Okay,
we would not turn down a trip like that. That's for sure.
Right on.
We might bring inflatable boats next time, though.
Yeah, so like a pack raft kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even inflatable sit on top kayaks, fishing kayaks, they're pretty cool and packed down pretty small, and
they do.
Yeah,
they do. We had friends
what's that one kayak that's like folds all up?
There's an origami one.
Yeah, like a briefcase one.
Yeah.
I forget what that one was called.
It's heavy.
But we had friends that backpacked Isle Royal, and so big yachting trips, and they brought pack rafts with them, and it was crazy. And they were like, fishing out like in the bay in the middle. It was like nuts, but that's cool. I would love to see that from you guys for sure.
That'd be fun.
We need to share some fishing stories for sure. So obviously, you know that I'm from Ontario, right?
Yay.
Right, John's Michigan. We reside in Michigan. And I had to look up like the master angler qualifications, and they're the same. They're pretty much similar, like between Ontario and Michigan. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is. I just wanted to kind of see what was going on. So
here it comes.
Are you ready? Did you know that I'm a master angler?
Wow.
News to me.
Impressive.
It is impressive.
Oh yeah, mark that in your calendars, kids.
Let's hear more about it. What did you catch?
I caught. Are you ready? A master angler pumpkin seed sunfish.
Nice. That's awesome.
And John's gone to get it because I had him stuffed. I was so excited.
Now he's green. I don't know if he'll show up on the green.
I don't know, but look how
that's amazing.
Look at
him.
Oh, that is so wicked.
Wow.
That's a beautiful pumpkin seed for sure.
We've been going to this lake for a few years, and I'm ready to and I was like, this is the year I'm going to get it, and I'm going to stuff this fish, and I got it. I was so proud of myself.
That's
so cool. That's a skin mount?
Say it again.
It's a skin mount? Like that's the fish you caught? Cool.
It is the fish I caught. Yep.
And you actually went out to catch that. Like that was your goal. That wasn't just like happenstance. That was like
no, I was so like, cool. I am not leaving this lake until I catch a fish.
She was bound to be determined.
And this is my lucky hat. This is my lucky fishing shirt. I got my fish.
And this is a pretty good sized lake, and I think half the lake knew.
I was like screaming. It was so exciting. But
hey, well, you can consider yourself an adventure angler. Like that's what adventure fishing is all about.
So
it's about setting goals.
That's right. Absolutely.
And accomplishing them. Yeah, good for you.
Right on. Are you guys master anglers?
We don't measure our fish, we catch like huge ones, but it's like irrelevant.
It doesn't matter, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, to be truthful, we don't seem to measure our fish, and other people, like other anglers, also look at us a little funny and wonder why are you fishing? And it's just, I don't know, we do it because we enjoy it. And the other concern too is sometimes we get the fish, and Adam and I are both the same. We panic inside. We're like, oh, we got to get it back as soon as possible so that it's fine and it's safe. And
that's true.
We over panic. I think the fish will be okay sometimes, or we could just let it rest in the net. But
okay, wait. Ben literally panics when he catches a fish, especially a big one. Like we've been in the canoe together, and he gets up and he'll like stand up, turn around. I'm like, dude, sit down.
So true though. Oh my god.
This fish-induced shock.
What is this?
That is a muskie.
That's a muskie. Yeah.
All right, now look at the snout. Yeah.
And how big was this fish?
Again, I didn't measure it. But I have measured one of my muskies before, my first muskie, which was 45 inches. And I can say that this was considerably larger than the 45-inch muskie.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't say that it's my 50-inch fish in the muskie world. There's certain numbers that are like really you're trying to aim for.
Sure.
Like you break your 40, get into your 40 club, get into the 50 club, but then you're chasing your 55.
Oh, there's the club. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not really part of the.
I love this. Okay.
I can't say I'm part of the 50 club yet. I didn't measure the fish, and part of me doesn't want to join the club yet. I still want that challenge.
I got it for sure. But that was caught off of a freaking kayak.
Oh yeah, I love kayak
That's
fishing.
okay. Like that's crazy. So growing up, my dad used to go to Buckhorn Lake.
Oh, nice.
Near you guys, like Peterborough kind of area,
very close to me,
right? And do musky fishing. He would come home and say, "Oh yeah, you could troll with like small puppies, and don't leave your small kids in the water because the muskies are going to eat them and whatever." You know what I mean? So they're like these man-eating giant fish with teeth, and you're catching this like huge fish off of a kayak.
For sure.
You should go sturgeon fishing.
Nuts, right?
I actually have a very funny fishing story I'd like to share if you don't mind. It works so perfectly with that.
Okay. Tell me. Best and worst story. What is it?
Okay, so just on that, it was last summer. Middle of the summer, super hot. I often will take my kids to the lake. They like fishing, but they actually just like playing with their lures in the water. Sure. And so most times they'll just start jumping out of the canoe and start swimming. And I was like, okay, you guys swim. I'm going to fish. Not really expecting much because my kids are kicking around in the water.
Right.
And I'm fishing like a tiny little jig and a minnow trying to catch walleye. And I hook into something and I'm like, oh, this is a pretty big fish. I think it's a big bass. So I'm fighting this fish and I'm calling my kids. I'm like, hey, guys, I got a fish. I got a fish. Because, of course, every time I come home, they're like, did you get a fish, Dad? I'm like, no, not today, kids. So I wanted them to see the fish. Look, I actually catch fish. So they swim over. I get this fish to the boat and I lift it up out of the water and it's a muskie and his head comes up right beside my daughter's face. And she's like, ah! And so it was at that moment that I realized the best way to catch muskies is to use your kids as chum in the water. It worked out perfectly for me. You throw your kids out and the muskies come.
Oh my gosh. Man. Oh geez. Oh, that is crazy. Here, look at this. Garen just said, where'd it go, honey? There. He said, hey, don't laugh. Up north here, we had a kid attacked by a big northern pike. Oh my gosh.
I've heard stories of muskies biting people.
It's super rare, but it does happen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's usually when they're spooked suddenly.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not they don't chase you down. I have heard stories though of
it's not like a barracuda.
It's not like Jaws or anything like that. Okay.
I have heard a story of a pike that seemed to have something wrong with its head, and it was like jumping out of the water at like birds and stuff, and like jumping into walls and stuff. So I think that was a very special case. So fish do sometimes have something wrong with them. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like everything else for sure. Jeez. Oh, yeah, the question from our level?
Yeah. Well, we can go back to that question. But no, Beauty in the Backcountry has a question. Assuming we're not talking fishing. What are each of your favorite species to fish for?
Oh.
Go with you, Adam.
Oh, okay, me first. Lately I have been really trying to become a better walleye angler. So I would say right now it's walleye. It's a challenge for me. It's something I'm not good at and something I'm like actively learning to do better at. But besides walleye, I love bass fishing, particularly smallmouth bass fishing. It's super exciting for me. And I mean, they're beautiful fish. So those
why a smallie over a large?
Oh.
A lot of people, when it comes to bass, they like largemouth fishing because the type of fishing it is very exciting. You're fishing in like really thick weeds up really shallow. Usually you're fishing it like it's sight fishing. You see a tree in the water, you're like, okay, there's a bass there. Right. And then usually you're like fighting them with big, heavy rods, big, heavy line, pulling them out of that stuff. So that's all very exciting. But smallmouth for me, because unlike Ben, I don't catch big, gigantic fish. So smallmouth for me put up a really good fight, especially for their size, like really good fight. And so that's exciting for me. I really enjoy that. And I like fishing a little deeper. One of the reasons why I'm trying to get into walleye fishing is because you're not going to catch them up shallow except for certain times of year. So you have to be able to like understand your electronics and your graphs and be able to read all that stuff and understand what's happening below you. So it just adds more of a challenge. And like I said, they fight better than a largemouth in my opinion.
There you go. There you go.
How about you, Ben?
I'm a muskie maniac. I got hooked on muskie about a year and a half ago, and I can't stop. I'm constantly listening to podcasts about muskie, constantly watching videos about them. I really enjoy pike fishing as well. They're very, very, very similar to muskie. Mm-hmm. But there's something that's just very magical and like mythical about muskies. There's not many of them in numbers. They have very interesting habits when they're moving around in the lake. They can live to be 30 plus years old.
That's crazy.
And they'll follow the bait right to the boat. So there's a technique that you do with muskie fishing that you don't do with any other kind of fishing called a figure eight, where you actually stick your rod in the water and keep the bait moving right beside the boat. Because you'll be fishing and then all of a sudden you have this 40, 50-inch beast right beside your boat and your heart starts pounding. And you want to take the bait out of the water because you're scared. You're like, oh my gosh. But you got to keep it in the water and try and keep it going. And then you have this huge fish bite your fishing lure right beside the boat. You have about 12 inches of fishing line out the end. And it's just chaos right beside the boat immediately. The water erupts. You feel like you're having hand-to-hand combat with this fish.
Oh my gosh.
There's nothing else that gives you this kind of a rush. Now, I will agree, smallmouth are pound for pound got to be the strongest fighters. Ooh. You look at the size of their tail, you can tell they got big kicker on there. But muskie, nothing will get your heart racing like getting a muskie.
Something I keep hearing muskie anglers say when they talk about hooking into one, they're just like, oh, I was just reeling in my lure, reeling it in, and I felt something. I set the hook and I thought it was a log, but no, it's a muskie. It just stops your rod dead in its tracks because it's like a big like sail at the bottom of the lake. It's just so huge, so much surface area. You can't move it.
And the lures itself, they're like 12 inches long. Like they're nuts.
Look at that one behind Ben there on the wall. It looks like a squirrel.
Where do you got it?
This one, these two are musky. Actually, all of these are actually musky lures. Those are crankbaits up here.
Yep.
So
I mean, that's just nuts. This is a musky
lure.
Here. How big that is.
That's just ridiculous.
What one's that one? That's the rapid something or
this is called a bulldog.
Bulldog. Okay.
Bulldog.
I don't know anything about musky fishing. I should say anything like these are all musky lures. It's all Ben. Like I'm trying to pretend like I'm cool and put these behind me.
Yeah. It's all show.
And I don't know anything. It just Ben tells me and I just repeat it.
Adam, you're a canoe guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
strictly, it's become something like that I refuse to let go of. Ben has tried desperately to get me into a kayak. Yeah. But
it'll happen.
There's just something about a canoe that I don't get that feeling in a kayak. It's so much more comfortable for me. There's more space. I enjoy paddling just with a single paddle. That's the weekend hooker. That's my baby.
Well, the weekend hooker, like, come on! I love that name.
Well, look at that rig. That thing looks like a carrier.
Right,
yeah,
I know.
Fully rigged out.
So this is like a straight up Canadian Tire kind of boat, or
yes, it is. I literally got it for $150 off of my friend, like with two paddles. It's super inexpensive, and I have put some miles on that canoe, and it was old and beat up when I got it. But it has allowed me to do all kinds of stuff that I never would have been able to otherwise. And so I have like a soft spot in my heart for that crappy Canadian Tire canoe. But
so tell us your setup, what you got going on there.
Well, in the center there, on the thwart of the canoe, because I actually don't have a proper yoke on my canoe because it's 90 pounds. It's not made to carry on your head. So there's a thwart in the center, and what I've done is installed gear tracks from Yak Attack. And what that allows me to do is just slide on different mounts. So like things for our cameras, like GoPros and our digital cameras for filming, our fish finder displays, my fish finder, all that kind of stuff can be mounted right in the center of the canoe, right in front of me. And so it's all within arm's reach and I can easily see it. But yeah.
Okay, how many fishing rods are you hooked up with right there?
3,
4.
So
this was a camping trip Ben and I did a couple falls ago, and so I actually think those are all my fishing rods. I bring it at least 3 if I'm just doing like a fishing trip, a fairly easy one. If we go backcountry, 2, but never 1.
Okay,
more the merrier.
I love it. And then we were watching a video, and then John noticed you remember the dry sack with the water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you use it in the bow or something?
Oh, yeah. So our buddy Justin, we did a trip with him in Kawartha Highlands Provincial Park a couple years ago, I think, and he was paddling his boat solo. He's got like a 16-foot tandem canoe, but he was paddling it solo, and he showed us this trick. You can take like a 30-liter dry sack and fill it up with water and just stick it right in the bow of the canoe and attach it to the handle, and it totally levels out the boat. When you would be amazed at how well you can track that canoe even in the wind. It's actually incredible.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, and it works
Justin,
really well.
Wherever you are, love it.
Yeah, he's a brilliant man. Except for canoe trips, he's
not safe.
Trips.
Don't trust that.
You're a kayak guy, right?
Yeah,
like, that's
for sure.
Him, you know. Do you does your kayak have a name as brilliant and fabulous as Adam's?
No. I mean, I had one that first came to mind, but I thought it was kind of lame, but I haven't thought of anything since. So I think it's just rightfully its name now, which is Tiger Tail.
Tiger Tail.
Cool.
Lame.
Yeah.
An Instagram poll or something, maybe. I don't know.
That's such a good idea. Okay, I'm doing that. All right. I'm going to get the audience to help me.
Sure.
I do want to say, just for the record, and on that, that's how I came up with that name, The Weekend Hooker. I asked Instagram, and one of the other anglers in Ontario here, his name is actually Andrew. He came up with that name.
Andrew Fishing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It was his idea. And as soon as he said it, I was like, yes.
Done. That's it, for sure.
I'd say like Muscatarius.
I don't know. Yeah, like something there. Okay, tell us about this setup, because this is pretty aggressive looking.
Is that a Hobie?
No, that is a Jackson.
Okay.
So Jackson Kayak, they're originally known for whitewater kayaks, but they've dove right into the fishing industry, and they're putting out some really nice kayaks. So this is a Jackson U-Pick. It's a very open deck kind of design. There's not a lot of compartments and not a lot of like little hidden things, but there's a ton of gear track. So I got a lot of ability to customize and set it up however I want. I actually just put out a video a couple weeks ago showing in detail how I do it, particularly for muskie, because there's all those special considerations that you need to think of. But
Yak Attack.
I should be. That's on the goal list for sure.
There you go.
No
do
kidding.
It.
Yeah. So I am kind of supported though from Frontenac Outfitters. So I should say that. So this kayak was given to me from Frontenac Outfitters because I do their social media and I work for them with our own business. So we actually have a business called Paddlehead Productions where we do social media production, stuff like this. So I'm doing that for Frontenac Outfitters, and they said you need to be in a fishing kayak. So
there you go.
So they hooked me up with this, and I've just been rigging it up. And I love it. You get, I've got a few different rod holders on there. I have a fish finder on there. I try and keep it kind of simple because I like to be quick at the boat launch, and I just like to get in the water. And
fair enough.
I'm more of a minimalist kind of idea of fishing. I'm not a guy who will have 300 musky baits. I can get away with probably like 250.
Okay.
So, but I love the fishing kayak because it's so stable.
Okay. It looks great. I love it.
Stand in it. I can stand on one leg very comfortably in the fishing kayak. And it's super stable. It's no problem landing a muskie.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Like I had more trouble trying to, when we were camping, we had to fill up our gravity bag. So we didn't want to grab the water right from shore. So I paddle out in a canoe, right? And when you're trying to lift a gravity bag full of water out of in a canoe, you can feel it, right? You feel that canoe's about to go if you don't counterbalance that.
100%.
But like lifting the muskie out of the water in the fishing kayak, I was not concerned about the fishing kayak going on me at all or flipping. I wasn't trying to counterbalance. They're pretty great for that.
Wow,
cool. Better than a canoe, but
I just dropped your the link to that video of how you set your kayak up.
Oh yeah, good.
Thanks.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was a fun video. It's like that's nice.
No, it's
I like those little twist locks, quick.
I agree with
quick,
you.
Fast.
For sure. And then you just I think you kind of touched on safety a little bit there. You know what I mean? How you're stable, you're safe. Obviously, you're wearing your PFD right now.
Always. Yeah. So I really like wearing my PFD too because it's got everything I need. I've got my pliers here. I have a safety knife. I've got my GoPro batteries, my other camera batteries. It's all right there, which is wonderful.
Right. So with the safety stuff, are you guys carrying any like emergency kind of GPS stuff when you guys go out, like backcountry?
I have one.
You do? Like
I have a Spot. What is it? Spot Gen 4.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just a communicator. It's not one of those fancy messaging ones. There's some really cool ones now. Actually, I think Motorola just came out with that one.
They're about to. So Motorola is going to be releasing one that's actually relatively cheap and it has a much cheaper monthly plan too.
You just connect it to your phone, and so you can text and do all that stuff right from your phone.
Really? Nice. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. But when we go out with our buddy Justin can't go anywhere without messaging his wife every night. So he's got to bring one of these messaging apps. So it's kind of nice though, because he'll do updates. He's like, we're on the water, we're off the water. Okay, and then it sends it to a map, which we can look at afterwards and be like, we were here at this time and there at that time, and then we can go back and try and plan better.
It puts the pin in it.
It's like our Garmin 66.
Okay.
So all right. We ping every 10 minutes.
Okay. No, I feel like those are vital. I like that for sure. Mm-hmm. And then you guys also did like having skills. Obviously, paddling skills are important. And you guys did some white water.
Oh yeah. That was
I mean, that's important to us too. We're looking for those skills.
I love that you have these pictures up here.
Yeah,
this is
great. Awesome. That's great. We picked all the most flattering ones. Thank you so much.
Oh, 100%. Come on, Adam. Let's go. So this is Adam floating down the river.
Have you guys ever done any whitewater stuff?
No.
We're trying to get something in this year.
We need to get something done. So tell us what's going on here.
So we did a tandem, like a tandem intro canoe whitewater course with Paddler Co-op at their annual Palmer River Fest, which is an amazing event. And actually the next one is coming up at the end of May. It is almost full. But anyways, they have instructors. They take you out with a group. This is specifically just to kind of get you familiar with what it feels like to float down the river on your back, because that's an essential safety. I will call it a move. When you fall out of the canoe, you have to know how to float down the river safely. So feet first, butt up, and
feet up.
Yeah, exactly. And,
just as a quick little lesson for everybody here, the most dangerous thing about floating down a river is trying to stand up and put your feet down, because your feet can get stuck in the rocks and then the current just pushes you down.
Right.
And drowns you. So that's always important. If you're floating down a river, keep your feet up and try and keep your feet down river.
Okay.
That's right. If you push off rocks as you come across them and stuff like that.
One of the reasons we did this course is because we want to do more whitewater. And some of the reasoning behind that is, from our perspective, the lakes and the rivers and the bodies of water with fish that are behind the whitewater are much harder to get to. So fished less frequently. People are going back there with fishing rods a lot of the time. So if we can get into, tougher to reach places, the fishing should in theory be better.
Okay. Right. I love that. And so how did the tandem canoeing go though?
Awesome. We did tip once. And okay, so
who's in front?
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben's always in front. I've got like 60 pounds on him, so he can't sit in the back. It just doesn't work.
Got it.
Gotcha.
But we did good. Like, so we ran the rapids, I think 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And the first time we did it, we like veered off completely from the group and just kind of did our own weird thing. Everyone was like,
by
accident.
What are you
doing? It wasn't by accident. In the video, you're like, let's go this way.
No, yeah, because I thought we were taking our own scouting route. Yeah.
So we scouted it and we're like, oh, we're gonna go this. So we did anyways. But on our very last run, we ended up like coming just a little bit too far to the right of this big drop. What do they call it, Ben? Do you remember?
Monster.
The big monster, something like that.
It's called Monster or Dragon's Tail, I think.
Yeah, and so we kind of went right over it as opposed to coming down the rapid beside it, which we were supposed to do. And what is like the worst part about it, never mind flipping and being in the freezing cold water, we're, as like content creators, we're supposed to film all this stuff so we can get it and make YouTube videos out of it.
Right.
And none of the cameras were rolling, so we didn't even get it. And it was all Ben's fault.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, you come right over the top and just like,
oh, geez.
Oh man.
Oh god.
But it was fun. It was a great experience. So I would highly recommend to anybody who is like thinking about whitewater, because I've done whitewater trips without any training, and I thought I was going to die. So before you do that, go and take a paddling course. It's essential, and it will greatly improve your chances of like enjoying. What was the name of the company?
It was
Paddler Co-op.
Paddle Co-op, right? Out of the Palmer River. And you said that's is it the last weekend in June or in May?
May 2-4 weekend.
Yeah,
Victoria Day long weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you bring. But
they run.
He wants that. Here I say May 2-4. He's like, what? And I'm like,
May 2-4 weekend, bud.
That's right. Let's go.
Get them iced down and let's go.
So do you have like level 1 whitewater certification or something from this?
No,
or
no.
It's more just
Palmer Riverfest is more like an introduction to whitewater. Okay. So there's no formal certification. It's almost just like, hey, come try this out, see if you like it in a fun, safe environment.
Oh, I like that too, though.
What was the whitewater class that you guys were training in?
Like the
tandem canoe.
No, it was probably a class 1 or 2 rapid. It depends on the water level, but I think
2.5,
maybe
class 2.5.
That's what I would think. You're right.
I mean, looking at that picture,
I know it looked like it was pretty flowy there for sure.
Yeah, it was more than a 1, that's for
sure.
So
I agree. So I mean, you mentioned the gear wasn't turned on, the GoPro's on, like nothing's going right. But should we take like a moment of silence because you guys have lost a GoPro?
This is true. Yeah.
Oh, a couple?
Ouch.
I've only talked about one. Yeah. So there's a video on our channel. There's a video on our channel where I went whitewater canoeing. This is before I did the course with Paddler Co-op. I was going with an ex-girlfriend, and on the first rapid, we flipped, and I don't know why, but I thought it was necessary for me to have a chest mount GoPro and a head mount GoPro. Oh. And so when we flipped, the canoe came over and basically ripped the chest mount GoPro off my chest.
Whoa.
And so I ended up with just a GoPro on my head at the end of the rapid. And the GoPro that I lost was actually a friend's GoPro. So I ended up buying a new GoPro just for him.
Oh.
Yeah. But
that is crazy.
Yeah. So that was the first casualty.
Okay.
I've never lost a GoPro.
Thanks. I've lost enough for both of us, I guess.
Thank you.
Okay. How was the second one going?
So I was doing a sea kayaking course, and we were doing the test where you have to basically just fall out of your sea kayak and then get back in the middle of the lake. And I had the head mount on, and we had just finished saying, make sure when you flip over, like they were telling me, make sure you hold on to that. I was like, oh yeah, good idea. And so when I went to flip over in the sea kayak, I wasn't holding on to the camera on my head. I was just more concerned with all the water rushing into my nose and having to pull my skirt.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we were above about 50 feet of water too, so there was no diving down for it.
You could have called
fun fact,
hey, get your scuba gear.
Fun fact about Ben: Ben does not like the water. Like he doesn't like getting wet. He doesn't like swimming.
No, I don't mind getting wet.
No, don't try and act
would you
tough.
Stop?
When we did the whitewater course, they wanted us to jump in the river twice. They said, it would be good if. And Ben's like, no, I'm not doing it again.
No, you did it twice.
Well, yes, it was cold, but like, boo.
I was freezing. And if we had the option, no, I'm not going to go again.
And Ben, like when we're camping, especially in the summer, like I have to swim. I'm like a sweaty pig, and so when we get to camp, I strip down right into my underwear and I jump in the lake.
Sure.
And Ben, he just won't come swimming with me. It's kind of sad. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try swimming with
He doesn't like the weeds touching his toes,
No.
Well, have you seen those big?
He doesn't like the snapping turtles.
You see the snappers
they
in
make
there
him crazy.
with heads this big?
I know.
That's right.
He went in, but he barely went in. And oh god! Oh my god!
Well, we just came around the bend and we were heading up to Phipps Lake, man. And this guy, I kid you not, he was at least a good 3 and 3,
yeah,
almost huge. 4 feet. in length, and his head was like that big. He
And
was sitting on the rock, and his head just kind of like slowly.
He gave you the side eye.
You know, if you grab onto them, you can ride them, right? You grab them on the sides, they'll take you for a swim.
Right? As his neck.
I mean, that's what we do up here in Canada.
Right.
We get to the lake on our moose back, and we hop off, tie our moose up, get in the lake, grab a turtle.
Right on the hitch post, you know.
Oh yeah, bud.
Yeah, we also keep a 2-4 beer just tied onto the tail there.
Oh
just
yeah,
to keep it cold in the water.
That water's definitely cold enough to keep them cold.
That is funny. So funny. Okay, I have another question, but there's a statement here. It's kind of cute. So are you aware of Super Good Camping? So Super Good Camping is a couple. It's Tim and Pamela, and they do a podcast every week, which we're going to be on. We've already done it, but ours is going to air May 1st, I think it is. So he just said, Pamela just walked by and said, hey, those are the guys that were doing the question thing at the Outdoor Adventure Show. That's fun.
The this or that.
The this or that. Okay,
That's
so
right.
kind of speaking of a this or that, have you ever done fishing is expensive. Like anything else, any sport, any whatever, everything is expensive.
It doesn't have to be. I will say that.
Right. So what about have you done like the dollar store fishing gear? Have you done you know what I mean? Like, how do you get the entry level? How do you like the expensive stuff versus that?
Ben, do you have any thoughts? I mean, I've used some pretty cheap gear.
I think I don't know. I think a lot of our gear is pretty cheap. It's expensive when you get into musky fishing, that's for sure.
Because it's bigger.
Big baits, big rods, big reels.
Yeah.
There's really no cheap way into that. But like with fishing, a lot of our fishing rods are ugly sticks, which are kind of like a Canadian Tire special. But ugly sticks are also known as being indestructible. Yeah. And they're tough as heck. You can take them into the backcountry, bang them off stuff, and not really worry about it. So
she broke one.
I did.
Oh, nice. That's a feat. That's
I'm aggressive.
You should get that thing stuffed and put that on the wall.
Yeah, right? I know.
That's an accomplishment.
Make it look like the bluegill broke the rod.
Yeah.
Create a whole scene.
Okay, just for the record, I tried to get her to do a diorama for that fish, and our taxidermist, he said he'd be more than happy to, throw some reading. And she's like, no, I just want a little
fish on the wall.
I just want a little block, and just do it. It's like free floating on the wall. Like,
that's awesome.
What did you catch that fish on? Just curious.
Do you remember? Reds.
I was using just worms.
Worms.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
I love worms.
Oh, look who's in the chat. We got Kevin Callan in the chat.
No.
Trouble's about to erupt.
Phil, hang on.
Watch out for his comments. Don't trust that guy.
Can't trust that guy.
So with the inexpensive gear, like I feel like that's a thing. Like people aren't doing that kind of stuff. Like maybe you should like showcase what you can do to get out there and on a minimalist kind of way.
Yeah, totally. So I did a video last year about my fishing canoe and just talking about some of the things that you can do to like have a vessel to fish out of on a tight budget.
Yeah.
I got really lucky with that canoe. I mean, my friend was getting rid of it. I paid $150. It's almost unheard of to get a canoe like that for that price. But
absolutely.
You can find good deals on used boats and stuff like that. People have like canoes laying around at their cottages. They've been there, they never use them. And so, if you're diligent about it, you look on, the online, like, I don't know if you guys have Kijiji down there, but like that kind of stuff. Craigslist.
Yeah.
Right.
You can find good deals. You just have to like keep an eye out for it. And as far as fishing gear goes, like you can buy used fishing gear too. The ugly sticks, they're not inexpensive. If you like really have no money, it's still $60 for an ugly stick, which is not nothing. But as far as fishing rods go, like, and reliability, like that's something that's really important to me. And I think Ben too, is like, if I'm going to be spending money on this that I've worked hard for, I want to make sure that I can rely on this thing and that it's going to last me a long time. And so,
you bust out the cash for the St. Croix and stuff like that.
Yeah, you want the quality for sure and the longevity out of it. Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, we don't.
I need a medium ultralight, or I need an ultralight.
Agree.
You don't need any of that stuff to catch fish, and this is like a thing I think a lot of people don't you know, it's easy to get caught up, like anything, camping, paddling, overlanding. It's so easy to get caught up in like all the hype, right? Everyone, and there's some amazing stuff out there. So if you can, you know, like do some research, figure out what you really want to do and what is going to help you to do that best. But like, it doesn't have to be expensive. And the thing, like, if we go out fishing with people that don't have equipment, most times we'll be like, don't worry about it. Like, we have everything. So, you know, find somebody who goes out fishing and like ask them, hey, can I borrow some stuff? Because most people have, like, I got a pile of rods behind me back here that came out of, you know, my father-in-law's mother's garage when she passed away. I've got like, so like anglers among, you know, have collections of stuff. And so they're more than happy to get people out fishing. So if you know somebody, ask them, you know, do you have something I can use, and just see if you like it.
I love it. That's very good advice. I love
that. I think he's got like 30 or 40 rods hanging in his garage.
Oh, easily. We have a question from Serious George. Question for Ben. How do you transport your kayak to the lake?
With a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
There you go. That's heavy.
I'm in the process of researching for a new kayak cart. There's actually one coming out, not sponsored, from Yak Attack, that I'm really looking forward to trying out. The second that Frontenac Outfitters gets that, they're giving me a call, and I'll be picking that up. So I would recommend a kayak cart for sure. But that is one of the big hurdles with fishing kayaks. Is they weigh 90 pounds to 110 pounds, and that's not for a pedal drive. That's just for a paddle. So it can be tricky to get them down beside the water.
First time that's putting on top of the car. Like they're heavy. You just see us put his on. Like yours is what?
Mine's a very, very cheap fishing kayak.
His is a big fishing kayak. Same thing. And it's like
88 pounds.
Like you got to get it
on top of the car. But I mean, we see these small mini trailers, you know, with a nice little carpet, and they got a little winch on the front.
That'd be nice. Right? I've actually got a video on the channel showing you how I try and get my fishing kayak on top of my little hatchback. So if anybody's interested, there are ways to do it, and you don't need a lot of strength. You just need a little bit of mechanical,
a little bit of leverage.
Little leverage. I agree.
Just speaking on the inexpensive stuff, like that is something that's really important to Ben and I. Is like, not only we don't just want to show people our trips and what we're doing, but we want to help people like see how they can do these things for themselves, right? And like, it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be that expensive. You know, there is some money, but like we said, you know, there's ways around that. And if you really want it, you know, you can.
I love that about you guys.
I really want to add
that's integral.
One piece of advice for any new anglers: don't get caught up into the trap of this lure is going to catch you fish. Buy a couple lures and stick with them. The biggest thing you can do to catch fish is time in the water. Don't try buying your way into catching fish.
I go to Wally World and get like dollar spinner baits, man, and they work just fine.
Yeah,
I've caught 32-inch pike off those.
Nice. Yeah, spinner baits and little inline MEP spinners, they're perfect. Just get a couple of those.
For sure.
I've even caught a little what was it? It's like what they call a little beast something. Anyways, it's a little guy, man, and I was hooking on brownies with that.
Was it what are those called?
I don't know. He looked like a little bee, but it had like a little spinner on the back of him.
Okay, maybe it might have been
like a little propeller, and it was just like I would just like drop it in, and I'd pull it up, and then bang.
That's some of the most exciting fishing, topwater, when you're working a lure on the surface and the fish actually jump out of the water to eat the bait. That's super cool.
Oh yeah,
such a rush.
I love it.
All right, question for
we popped that up really quick.
So he just joined in. What did I miss? Blah blah blah.
Talking to mom. Hi, Mom.
So top reason to fish from a canoe or kayak rather than a motorboat.
He seems to be on this mission to figure out this answer. I thought we explained it pretty well, Ben. What was he not paying attention or something?
He mustn't have been, no. Or he's just trying to get us to say something
different. I would have
different.
to say the stealthiness of it.
I don't know. To fish from a canoe or a kayak. What's the reason? Okay. So why would you fish from a canoe, Adam?
Because you can get into places that motorboats just can't, like, period. And one of the things that, you know, Ben and I really value in the adventure fishing trips that we do is the quiet lakes where there's nobody there and we're the only ones fishing, and you don't have the motorboat zipping around. You're not dealing with people who don't care about you because you're in a canoe.
Or stupid jet skis.
Yeah, stupid jet
skis.
But yeah, like you can get into places that motorboats can't, and I paid $150 for it. You're not going to get a motorboat for that. So
right on.
No, not to mention the fact of the water displacement, man. You can get in like super shallow water.
Oh yeah, it's the best. Okay, Ben, what about you?
Many of the same reasons. The shallow water, the affordability of it. Also, the thing that I like about a kayak that I've found that is a lot different than fishing in a boat with somebody else is if you want to go over there because you think that looks like a better spot, you can do that and they can go and fish wherever they want. Fishing in a fishing kayak is very much you can go where you want to go and do what you want to do. So I do appreciate that.
It's a big point of contention for Ben and I. We're in the canoe together. Like quite often we can't agree on how we want to fish or like what we want to do. So we end up like
it's like two guys facing the opposite direction trying to find. No, I want to go this way.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah, so, and so when sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say about the safety thing you're talking about, having motorboats, right? Like on the same water as when you're kayaking or you're canoeing. When we're kayaking on a lake that has like motorboats, John actually made poles. I have a Canadian flag on mine and John has an American flag on his. Because you can't see us on top of the water until you get right up to us, right?
No,
so there's that safety feature.
Her kayak is dark gray, mine's a deep blue.
You know, and it's
when you're at water level, and
so
in your
then
speedboat,
you see us on the water.
So so seeing ours are both fishing kayaks. They're inexpensive, cheap ones, and I just made 4-foot PVC pipes, put flags on it, and you can literally see us across the lake.
Which
is very important.
So it was so important. And I feel like nice and safe when that happens. So that was like really, really good. Another question from Beauty of the Backcountry here too. What do we got?
Beauty of the Backcountry says, what's the most overrated piece of fishing gear you've never used but you I see a ton of folks use?
Ooh.
A scale. No, I'm just kidding.
People weigh their fish. I feel like that's so weird.
I know, and that's fine. They can weigh their fish. That's okay. It's just not something that I do. Yeah, and for certain fish, it makes sense.
Okay.
But if you're musky fishing, if you're fishing for any big fish, do not hang them from a scale, please.
I feel like it's strange.
Don't hang a pike like this. If you get a big enough pike, don't even hold it vertically for too long. You're stretching all the organs inside that fish. Smaller fish can handle it, no problem. But you don't weigh pike. So there's my little rant. But
there you go.
Overrated piece of fishing gear. That's an awesome question, by the way.
It is a good question.
I would say, if you're thinking about it, Ben, I would say expensive gear. I mean, just like like $500, $600, $700 rod and reel combos. Like it's not necessary to catch fish.
Agreed.
I'm sure this is said elsewhere, but like one of our buddies, Jesse from Average Ontario Anglers, he says it all the time. Like the fish don't care what you're holding in your hand. Like it doesn't matter to them.
They don't take a resume.
Yeah. So like, 100%. I would say that, some people take fishing really seriously. There's competitive angling, competition. And so, for that kind of stuff, it does make sense because like most things, a lot of times with the more expensive equipment that has more features, there is something you're getting for that value. For the kind of fishing we do, we don't need any of that. And so
I have one to add. So there's this new thing that's on the market that I don't quite believe in yet. I can't say though with absolute confidence that it's overrated. I find it really hard to believe because there's always products like this. It's a bait scent. So you'll see that they'll try and market these different scents for your fishing lures.
Oh yeah, I've seen like you spray on like the little frog baits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Some fish it makes sense. Like if you're catfishing, you need scent. Like that's super important. Fun fact, catfish actually taste with their skin. Wouldn't that suck in life if you just tasted everything you touched? So some fish, it does matter smell, but like for the most part, smell is like that last.
Thank you for that. I was like, seriously?
Yeah. So yeah, I would say don't worry about that bait fuel. Don't worry about the bait scent. You're gonna catch a fish mostly out of the reaction and just that it's hungry and that it's making a quick decision.
Yeah, I would just say that bait scent is more primarily used for like artificial lures, right? Like you, Colleen, using worms. You don't need that kind of stuff. That stuff stinks, so the fish are gonna eat it.
Right on. I think what we love about you guys is one, you guys are super fun. You're real guys doing real stuff, obviously.
Here in the real
You know
world.
what I mean? Do you guys rely on fishing for dinner? Like when you guys are in the backcountry,
we would go hungry. We would go hungry.
Right. So day one is not like we're having, you know what I mean?
We're having trout.
Here we go.
So we sometimes
sometimes
make it a goal. Sometimes, yeah. It depends on the species that we're fishing for, where we're fishing for them, and our expectations of success.
Okay.
Well, here's a picture for you.
All right. So I mean, this is not it.
We did prepare that fish.
Yeah, that's a funny story. And actually, Kevin in the comments, he asked about it. Recipe for trout tacos. So that was kind of that was our goal for that weekend. Ben and I are not good lake trout anglers, so we kind of challenged ourselves. Apparently, like in the middle of the summer too, when trout fishing is supposed to be the hardest. We challenged ourselves to catch some lake trout but also bring in stuff like lakes way back in the bush to make tacos. So like the hard shell tacos, part of the challenge was like getting them back there without breaking them.
For sure.
We had a bag of cabbage that totally went bad. Like it's when it was time to eat it, we're like,
cabbage
okay,
lasts forever. Come on,
not in 30 degrees.
Oh God,
I guess that's Celsius.
You're making sauerkraut, in other words.
I love it.
It didn't smell like sauerkraut. It smelled like rotten kraut.
That's terrible.
I love it. So, and then Adam, you have kids, right? We already talked about that. Yes. What about kids fishing tips? Is that something that you want to? Is that integral to you guys? Is that important to you? Is that on the mandate?
Who are you talking? You don't have kids. What are you?
No, but I think. So I just wanted to speak because I've been watching a lot of or listening to a lot of podcasts lately, or watching a lot of people talking, and that's been coming up a lot lately.
Sure.
And there's just something that I really want to echo that I've been hearing, which is if you're taking kids fishing, just make it fun. Don't try and put them on the biggest fish. They don't care about the biggest fish. Just make it fun so that they will potentially want to do it again later. They don't want to be associated fishing with like, oh, we were out there all day trying to catch that one fish. And no, it's all about them. If you're taking kids fishing, it's not about you trying to catch your trophy or chase your own goals. You're focused on the kids and make it fun for them.
Right. Cooler full of beverages and a bunch of snacks.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Snacks are very important.
Heck yeah. What do you got for snacks? Oh, I got hot dogs. Oh.
Yeah.
You can never have enough. And the thing with kids, too, is they look at something that they eat all the time. Like, I don't want that right now. And it's like, well, don't worry. I have a library of granola bars here. So please take your pick.
Sure. Adam, do you have anything to like add to that? Like for getting like the younger guys out and...
Yeah. So at first, like when my kids were really young, like I said, part of why I got into fishing and the outdoors was to like be able to teach my kids about it. So I got them into it as early as I could. And at first, you can buy the kiddie rods from Canadian Tire. They call them plugs, but it's just like a big plastic, looks like a fish. There's no hooks on it or anything like that, right? So for the first few years, just getting them used to like handling the rods. I don't know if you've ever seen kids with fishing rods, but they just kind of whip them around and they like to stand beside each other because they play with I'm a little fish. Oh, I'm your fish's dad. Ha ha. And so you're like whipping them all around, right? So, for the first little while until you can help them understand like lure control and those kinds of things, you don't want to put hooks on. Even now, like last year, this lady, my kids are 7 now. And so they would have been 6 last year. And that's good math, right? This lady came down and she was like, are you letting your kids fish with hooks? And I'm just like, well, yeah, how else are they going to catch fish? Like, what are you talking about, lady? Like, she didn't ask like, hey, like, I don't know, taking some time to teach them how to use those things safely. And of course they were. And so I just thought it was really funny that she would just jump. But, at the same time, she was like, well, I, worked in a hospital. And I've seen kids come in with hooks in their eyes. And she's absolutely right. But something that's important is getting them familiar with it and comfortable with it long before you ever give them a hook, right? So, but yeah, like Ben said, and like you guys said, it is supposed to be fun, right? So like we'll go out I'll take the canoe. We'll go to a lake. We'll bring the fishing rods. We bring snacks. But like most time, the kids don't even fish. They'll just hang out in the boat. They just like,
oh yeah,
they'll take, most of my soft plastic baits end up as toys for the kids. Like I don't even get to fish with them. They just want to like pretend they're little people.
Though. That's okay.
And what's important for me is like, regardless of whether they're fishing or not, we're outside, we're paddling on a lake.
100%.
I'll try and make it super fun. Like, okay, guys, we're going on an adventure, and like I'll go to a lake and I'll show them on the map. Like, hey, look, guys, there's a river at this side of the lake. Let's see if we can get to that river and see what it looks like. Make it fun for them, right? Like, kind of like there's a mission here. And yeah, you never want to force them to do anything. If they're not having fun, go home. Like, don't make them do something they don't want to do, because otherwise they're gonna hate it.
Agreed.
Life jackets, obviously. Like, I mean,
100%.
We have our PFDs all the time, but even like if you're just fishing off the bank, that's something you want to consider. My kids are very strong swimmers. They were in swimming lessons when they were really young, and my mom has a pool, so they spend many weekends in the summer swimming.
So they're not afraid of the water, which is fabulous.
They love it.
Yeah,
like I said, we'll go out on a lake in the canoe. They just jump out of it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's what we're doing now.
Oh yeah, for sure. So these were our guests from last week, and they have young grandkids, and they're saying they love to catch, clean, and cook it.
Wow.
So I mean, that's like super fun, right?
I've done that a few times. My kids like to poke the eyeballs. That's something.
Yeah.
You got to teach them how to clean it.
Oh yeah.
We're not at a place yet where they're comfortable using knives. So when they get there, we can.
It'll come. It'll all come.
Yeah. Question from Super Good Camping. They asked, with kids, should it be catch and release?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, I think that all depends on what
release the kids. I'm like.
I think it depends on what lessons you want to teach the kids and what lessons they're ready for as well.
Conservation is important to teach them. You don't want to keep. This is my personal opinion. You don't want to keep everything you catch, especially big fish. It's important to make sure that there's fish for the kids when they grow up. So you put. I put 99% of the fish I catch, and that's not a lot, but I put them back.
And just to kind of expand,
nobody laughed at that joke that I made about myself not catching many fish. That's fine. I gotta go. Bye, guys. Nice talking.
My trap
ready. Just to elaborate on what you said about big fish, so other people know why that's important. When you catch a big fish, it's easy to think, "Oh, this will make an excellent meal because it's so much fish." But if it's like on the very high end, on the very high end of a good sized fish, that's likely a fish that reproduces and is going to make more offspring. So if you can, put the biggest fish back. Just eat those medium sized ones right in the middle.
If you think about it, that fish to survive that long and to get that big has gone through a lot. They call them breeders.
Agreed.
Those are the fish you want to put back because they have strong genes and they survived for a reason. So you want to make sure that you're protecting.
But it'd be so hard to be like seeing that thing mounted on a wall.
So here's the thing. There's amazing technology nowadays where they can make a reproduction just from a photo and get like a lot of the sizing very accurate. And there's certain distinctive marks on fish that they will make sure that they match.
Yes, that is true. Our taxidermist, he asked if we had the real fish or a photo. I said,
cool.
I said, oh, we got the real one. So I mean, technically, if we, you take a couple quick measurements, take photos of both sides of the fish, and then release them, and then
to do that.
Send it in.
That was really cool. I feel like this is something that might be in your future too. So Doc said, I have a friend that has a competition with another friend and they must use the short character rods from the box stores, like a Barbie or a Spider-Man or something like that. Uh-oh.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I do like
no,
that.
It doesn't. No.
So here's a little bit of background on the channel. There's certain things that I kind of want to do, but Adam wants to stay away from them because they've been done by other fishing YouTubers, like fishing with kitty rods or Barbie rods.
Sure.
But I still think it's fun. They did it, but we didn't do it. I want to do that. I want to do that challenge. Yes. So convince Adam that this is a great idea. And
I'm sorry.
You can let it go. Let it go.
Do you guys have a lucky hat or a lucky rod or anything like that? Or do you like wear something, or do you like eat something for breakfast before you head out to
in other words, you're superstitious.
Yeah, like do you have something like that before you head out fishing?
There's one thing
that's kind of synonymous with a lot of anglers.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually it came totally into play last weekend. Ben and I went out pike fishing, and I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it's very taboo to bring a banana on a boat when you go fishing.
Never heard of that.
No.
Okay, well,
yeah, it's a thing.
It is totally a thing. And so last weekend we went out pike fishing, and Ben, like a weirdo, shows up at the boat ramp eating a banana. I'm like, dude, what? And of course we're getting in my canoe, so we're gonna be fishing together. I'm like, you can't eat it. It's still in your stomach. It's going to be on the boat. It doesn't work like that.
But I left the peel behind.
No, it doesn't matter. The banana's in your stomach on the boat. And guess what? Guess who didn't catch any fish?
Don't ruin the video. We got a video coming out, and it's all about that.
Oh my! I've never heard of the banana. I gotta look that up now.
Yeah.
Where it comes from is from way back in the day when they were transporting fruits and vegetables overseas. And if they brought bananas on the boat, bananas have a certain chemical in them or release something. Once they start going bad, they release something that makes everything else around it go bad too. So they found out that if they brought bananas on the boat, their whole shipment would just be bad fruit. It would go bad on the boat. So no bananas on the boat came from that. But for some reason, anglers have picked it up, and sometimes it really seems to be
it's true. It's true.
That's wild. Have you guys ever gone fishing and caught something that wasn't a fish?
I've caught another fishing lure, and I've caught a hook.
Okay.
And I don't know how. I was fishing with a Mepps inline spinner, and anybody who knows that bait knows that when you pull it through the water, it usually sits like at the top of the water column. So I don't know how I picked up a hook if it was not running like on the bottom.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything
I've
else.
caught a lot of trees. Oh
yeah.
we
call those tree pounders.
Okay,
I've caught more trees than I have fish, probably. So
I love it. That's awesome. Okay, what's up for 2023? What is your what upcoming trips do you have for the year?
So basically every opening species we have a trip.
Okay.
Almost. So we've got a trip for pike opener in Frontenac.
Okay.
We've got
Frontenac Provincial Park. You should
Provincial Park. Sorry, yeah. We've got a trip in a secret land for walleyes. And then we have a trip for muskie as well. We're camping. We're just doing some car camping in an area where there's a lot of muskie access, and we're hopefully going to be hitting some rivers for muskie opener. Yeah. But beyond that, like we are very much kind of a fly by the seat of our pants sometimes. And yeah, last minute.
We do have some plans, if possible, to do some whitewater trips this year, like we were talking about. We would like to paddle some rivers, at least one. So
you got the skills. Let's go.
Well, that's debatable.
Okay, let's rephrase that. They have the knowledge.
They have the knowledge.
Yes.
They were in school. Get it. Anything out of Ontario? Have you guys? Is Michigan on the list?
Or any of the states?
It is for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is for me, just because Michigan is really well known for muskie.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Very
muskie
cool.
And sturgeon.
So it was when we went to Algonquin a couple of years ago.
That was expensive.
It was $145 each.
Keep going. Yeah.
For us to have the opportunity to catch a fish in Algonquin.
Wow.
Did you go on like a guided trip?
No. It was us to get an Ontario license.
We were at
and then a state. It was crazy being out of state, like out of country, non-resident or whatever. And it was just like taxes.
So, Colleen, are you a citizen of the United States?
I'm a permanent resident here now. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's working on her citizenship.
Well, sorry, foreigners. It's expensive to come up and fish in the Great Land.
But it's got to be vice versa. Shush. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah, it's only $23, $26.
Well, one of the nice things I would say for like Canadians and Ontarians, fishing licenses are actually not expensive at all. They're very reasonably priced.
Right.
So for people who are in Canada and you want to fish here, to buy a license is not that expensive.
But you have to buy a license per province, though, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right.
Ontario's really big. Like, we don't have to go anywhere else.
Right? I know, it's so true.
It's the same thing here with the states. You have to buy a license per state.
Right.
I do have a fishing license in Florida, actually. I think it's probably expired now, but my family has a place in Tampa.
Yeah.
And so I've done some bass fishing there. Actually, really quickly, I did this amazing. My brother and I were just like, we thought about doing a guided trip for tarpon, but it was like, no, that's not what I like doing. So my brother, he had brought a couple fishing kayaks, and we're looking for places locally. And there's this place called the Hillsborough River.
I know exactly who you are.
Okay, well, it's like an alligator sanctuary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So we're like, that sounds like a good place to go bass fishing. So I've got some really cool photos, like right at the boat launch, there's a sign that says caution alligators or beware or something like that. But it was incredible. Like, so we paddled up. The way we looked at it was like, other people do this, like it must be fine. There's literally a kayak boat ramp there to launch your kayak.
It should be fine. Yeah.
Yes, it's fine.
We probably saw about 25 alligators that day. It was insane.
It's like
super cool.
Like hiking with the grizzly, the teddy bears in Nashville.
And all the, and I know, we would hike.
Well, this is it, right? I mean, like, even up here, we got wolves, we got like mountain lions,
we got muskies,
big bears. Exactly, muskies.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, I got one more quick
question. Now, we got another question.
Hey,
what's that?
So Kevin has another question. Best region to paddle, fish, and explore. Adams.
Kawartha Highlands or Ben's Frontenac. Oh, okay.
Well, we've done more trips in Kawartha Highlands, but fishing has been pretty good in both. And we don't want to say too much, but we've had some pretty good luck fishing in both of those places. So if someone's looking for fishing and they're in Ontario, either one of them would be a good spot to go.
For sure. I would vote though. I still, even though this is kind of my home area, I'd still vote for Kawartha, and I think that's just because you've got more muskies than.
There you go. We have to get up that way, and I haven't been up that way for a very, very, very long time. So I look forward to doing that. That'll be really, really.
Is that north of Cottage Country?
You're east. You're east of that. You're east of that, honey. Yeah, for sure. We totally love your dynamics. Like, you guys are totally play with each other. Super fun.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys need your own like live stream podcast. Like, you need this. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's called Paddleheads on YouTube.
That's right. No. Like, you guys, is there anything in the future like that for you guys? Again, it's more time, it's more effort, but I mean, there's value in that for people.
We've actually been doing a bi-weekly podcast with our good friend Jeff. It's called the Fish On Podcast, and we've been doing that on and off for but it's so hard to be consistent with that because we have so many other things going on. And like the truth of it is, it's just like really low on our priority list. YouTube is number one, and it's, you guys know, like, it's a lot of work to produce regular content on YouTube. We put out a video every week, and we put out a YouTube short every day. And so it's an enormous amount of work, even with two people. So, like, the podcast is fun. And like, we love to be able to do shows like this because we get to talk to different people about things that we don't otherwise get to talk to them about.
Right on.
But yeah, I would say it's, having our own show is probably pretty low on our priority list.
Okay.
For now.
That's cool.
For now, right. There you go.
Once AI takes over and we can just have an artificial Ben and Adam doing videos.
100%. But not only is this even like having your own show or podcast, I feel like you're going to be a speaker at some of the next events and stuff like that. So that's, we were speakers at the Quiet Adventures.
You get a little stage fright.
Oh yeah. No, you'd be good. And we were just at speakers at a show too. And it was just like absolutely amazing and super, super fun. So I feel like you got this. All right. One last question.
Trevin's got another question. Who's the bigger fishing liar of you two?
Well, I'm gonna say Adam is, because Adam lies about how terrible of an angler he is, but he's actually not too bad of an angler. I know that's not the question that Kevin, or that not the answer that Kevin wanted.
So wait, did you just say I'm a liar because I play off that I'm a worse angler than I actually am? Is that what you said?
That's what I just said. Just because I think it's the opposite of what Kevin wants to hear.
Thank you. Thank you.
like reverse psychology.
I don't know what that was. That was crazy.
I like to set expectations low and then rise above them. That's the ideal scenario. So
there you go. Oh my God, you guys have been awesome. How can everybody find you?
Well, I'll show you.
He's gonna load it up in the chat and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you guys can go ahead and rattle it off.
So we're at Paddleheads. We are not the baseball team from Missouri. We are the YouTube channel Paddleheads. And yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok sometimes, and Twitter. But honestly, if you just follow us on YouTube, you'll see everything that we release, because pretty much everything else is almost a repeat of what's on YouTube. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. You guys have been fun.
Oh, it's been a ride.
This has been so fun. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, oh, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome. Our pleasure. I mean, I want to get out and try muskie fish. I mean, I would love to go sturgeon fishing. I mean, there's sturgeon fishing, you know, they can be larger than your canoe and kayak.
And they can be as old as a dinosaur.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree
you
with
literally,
that.
I mean, the look at their backs is like, it's incredible.
Right.
Just wild,
but they're not a big fighting fish like a muskie or a pike kind of thing, you know, when they wait till they get to the top and then just start thrashing to get off the hook. They're like super slow motion from what I've been told. I've never gone personally. So
awesome. Cool. Well, everyone's saying good show, fun times. This has been great. So whoop whoop. So thank you very much, you two. That's awesome. So everybody make sure you go in and check these two guys out. Adam, Ben, the Paddleheads, Insta, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok sometimes, right? And stick around, okay? John's gonna drop you down.
Cool.
One more question.
Oh, okay.
Walleye or
ready.
pickerel?
Someone had that.
It's a pickerel, bud. It's a pickerel.
No, it's a walleye.
I don't know if you guys know this, but like up here, like quite often it's like, oh, that's an American term, but like the technical term for that fish that people refer to as a pickerel is walleye.
Is a walleye, right? Yeah. That is so true.
Right on, eh?
There you go. Oh my God. Stop it. Yeah, there you go.
Got a pickerel on my hat there, bud.
I like it.
Oh, that's the hat you got at the what is it?
That's right, bud. The raw fish hat at the Cotton Cast.
That would go good at the 2-4 weekend, you know?
Yeah, good times.
Oh my God. Stop it.
Right. Okay, here's another quick true story.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah,
okay,
let's go.
When I first met her, she's a city girl, born in true.
I'm from London, Ontario.
And I started talking like that. I said, Canadians don't talk like that. I said, shit. I was like, so my son was playing junior hockey north of y'all. And
north of London, in Lucknow.
And he was in Lucknow. He was just playing junior C, so he's doing some stuff. So we're there, watch his game, you know, and then I took him out to dinner to a Boston Pizza. We're all sitting there talking, and next thing you know, bunch of his ex teammates come in from another team and they, oh, hey Tyler, how was your game today? Her eyes got as big as sausage.
Talks like that. It was crazy, right? Who are these kids? Come on.
That was so funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover between Canadians and Wisconsin, so there's a lot of like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And are you?
Don't you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you know?
Okay, guys, thank you.
All
right, you are welcome.
All right, stay tight. We're gonna drop you all down.
Thank you so much. Wow.
That was fun.
Excited to hear what's going to happen next for the Paddleheads.
I want to go fishing with you.
I feel like there's going to be a fishing trip too. I like this idea a lot.
You can have the Barbie pole.
That's fine. Because I'm a master angler. It's fine. You guys got this? Like, I'm just telling you right now. All right.
Wait till I get mine.
That's fine. Whatever. That's fine.
Mine's gonna be bigger.
That's fine. I'm just telling you right now. Everyone said they had a good time tonight. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
We had a fantastic show. The Paddlehead Bros are an absolute great channel. Fun stuff. So everybody make sure you go check out our friends Ben and Adam, the Paddleheads out of Canada. Super fun. Lots of great things coming your way. I'm excited for that. It'll be really great. Thanks for hanging out. Another fun Thursday night, right?
Giggle fest.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say it was a bit of a giggle fest tonight. So, and I feel like my cheeks are a little sore. That is true. I've been smiling and laughing all night long. So what a great night it is.
All right, y'all. We'll see you all in the next class.
Yeah, you got it. Cheers, everybody.
Peace out.